Today's episode is brought to you by new and improved audio. I'm not currently using it at this moment. I'm still waiting on an adapter. And so I will introduce this episode by talking about finding the geeks new equipment for podcasts. A week ago, I bought a Blue Yeti, which is what I've just shown, in hopes to start new episodes with this new microphone. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for this adapter hub, for which I just mentioned, to connect from my iPhone to USB. Should be in the mail tomorrow, and we'll see how that audio will change from there on in. On a side note for podcasting, this was a first for me. I only jumped on the podcast movement as soon as I saw an event offer for Spotify Next Wave. This convinced me to import videos and convert them into audio through Anchor.fm. The convenience factor is the main selling point. I haven't placed this podcast on iTunes yet. Still, you can enjoy these episodes on many platforms, including Spotify. I've considered in starting another podcast with my friend, but I haven't received much information on that at this time. It's best for me to place more of my focus for Find the Geeks since it's been about 4 months this podcast started. There is still much more work to be done, and I'm hoping to keep that consistency here. And so another note I will add here is where I got the idea to buy this microphone in the first place. It came from a podcasting community for newbies on Facebook to get their foot wet in podcasting. Now, I don't visit Facebook groups often, and yet I've seen some interesting thoughts in regards to people being concerned about getting their first podcast started. Honestly, I haven't had much concern in getting started. At times, I'll find myself closing out a video after a minute and then restarting all over again. But I've only had a couple of takes, honestly. The portion of writing led me into preparing myself for what to say in each podcast episode. Tonight, here are my thoughts. Expanding more of my thoughts from video to podcast hasn't been a bad idea at all. Sometimes I'll have speech problems here and there, I'll have some ums, some pauses, some things that'll take me some time to think over, or possibly some logical error where I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going through this scenario, but I'm bringing myself right back to the beginning without a conclusion at all. And honestly, this is just to say that mistakes happen. It's good to point out these mistakes, to be aware of what's going on while you're doing these podcasts, while you're doing these videos, which is the main reason why I have writing in place. If I didn't have a paper or a topic to say on the subject of podcasting or many of Find the Geeks videos, episodes, then I would still find myself at a situation where, okay, I'm talking about this, but I'm still going in these circles. I'm not exactly sure if there are any other influencers who apparently work off a script. It may as well be possible to do to possibly I would have to do research, but I would imagine that if they were to do some kind of episode or video on this subject that matter, they would be on live at the situation. They would be interviewing people on the street in regards to a topic, because they wouldn't know what to expect from their answers. And now those answers could be crude, or they could be genuinely nice. And at the same time, people may cut it out of that being on the video or on the podcast episode. They may as well put a special bloopers, as you may put it, that if they have this mistake, they might as well have this extended clip and showing all the mistakes actors interviews have gone wrong. And that's just another way to look at it. Now, I'm really looking forward to using this audio. I'm still using my AirPods at this moment. At this time, I've completed most of my schoolwork, and now I have a bit more time to relax and get started with more podcast episodes. I may be in a different setting after 2 weeks from now, but I will still be consistent on these podcasts. And until next time, I'm looking forward to some new content, productivity, more community ideas, and more to hear from my audience as well. I'm looking forward to it.